Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Allayi on Endless. I just had a little bit of an equipment failure, decided to go ahead and restart the episode. Nothing has happened yet on the new turn except that Blue walked that little army that was near us toward our city and attacked, and this was the outcome. We lost 2 monks and a militia, they lost their weak forager, 1 of their rumblers, and we last standed their hero, and the other rumblers on very low health. Obviously the battle didn't go exactly as I would have liked. And also, obviously, you can see they assigned a hero to that army before attacking. We should be able to remove them pretty easily. I would like it if my city was not sieged for an entire turn. Okay. So their hero's going first. We're going to put these guys way in back. Not on the reinforcement flag, though. And you are to stay put. Actually, this guy's so late in the turn order that I suppose it doesn't matter. And yeah, Nachampsesa can heal him. Alright, easy cleanup. These rumblers are pretty dangerous. They hit pretty hard. Alright, there. See, I'm glad I put him back on attack. And he was late enough in the turn that he couldn't possibly get hit. Everybody's counterattacks would be consumed by then. Okay. So, we know that up around Freyheim, probably like 4 units southwest of Freyheim, there is a blue army of modern troops, possibly wearing Tier 3 gear. Which is to say Mithrite type stuff. And they're coming for us. And they're led by a hero, and they decimated our armies at Freyheim, and we're in a lot of danger, basically. We're just in a lot of trouble. But we did just push Blue's army off and kill one of his heroes, so let's see if he's interested in a temporary truce. Obviously, there's no situation in which we could make long-term peace with a necrophage. It just doesn't work like that. But we could potentially calm things down for a little while. I think I'm going to build a strategic intensifier on this. We still need more of these early strategics than we're getting. Oof, I can't really dedicate everybody to it. We're having enough dust problems. Oh no, that's right, I'm not building that. I'm not building that because the Skyfin is more effective. So let's keep building out this city. The guards really are tremendously important. That's what I've learned over a couple of plays here, is that expanding Allayi cities is really important. Not just for the approval benefits, but because Garths are just awesome. Like, a level 2 random Garth right here. Look at that. Look at that tile output. It's gorgeous. And you get all this approval, or not approval, but influence. You do get approval, but obviously I'm talking about the influence. You just have powerful cities, lots of income. I think this guy is probably just headed to fight Pink. Probably. I don't think we have to worry about that. And so it's important to have enough population in your cities that you can build Garths. It's important to be able to at least make the triangle happen. And that requires, 6 pop. Like, Various is actually not going to be able to finish its Garth, or not going to be able to finish its triangle right away. We're going to have to wait. Yeah. So we need to make sure that we keep our approval levels high enough that people are being born. And we need to make sure that we have enough food. Once our cities get to 6 or 7 population, the explosive early growth benefit dies off. It's still important to get more citizens because you need to be able to pivot to science and dust in the late game. And if you don't have a lot of citizens, those pivots are going to be really weak. But it's less important to get Citizen 9 than it was to get Citizen 6, It is still a You can focus early game. It's very tempting to focus early game on industry. Just pound industry and be like, oh my god, I have all these buildings. But in the late game, you have to have population or you're going to get outmatched. If you can conquer militarily, you may be able to get through that. But you are not going to be able to win a long game turtle-type victory without a lot of population. And on a large enough map, military victories are actually very difficult. There's just too many bodies. You know, I don't know how many units are in the Necrophage army right now, but like to completely conquer that player out, it would take forever. How many regions does he have? He has 1, 2... This is a third here. This is like a long, weirdly shaped region. 4, 5, 6, 7. He's on 7 regions. We're on 4 right now, headed toward 5. But our regions are... Our cities are better than his. Right? That's kind of the Allayi thing. Garth is better than the borough streets, and that makes the Allayi cities better than everybody else's cities. So what else do we need to do? Allayi has its basic infrastructure completed and needs to build some other stuff. Well, we're going to need a central market for sure. I'd like to get luxury intensifiers up on that thing. Like I said, this Moonleaf is going to be really vital. Oh, the other thing. A couple of other things of interest. Number one, we got to get this going, which means that we need... Let's go check our garrisons. I actually don't know if militia count toward that, because if they do, militia takes over, deals with the infantry slot. Although we have dredges, we're going to put these dredges in anyway. So right now we have flying and possibly infantry, and this city just completed a support. So we need to put a dredge into a garrison just to be absolutely sure. These guys have no movement left. They can't jump anyway. And we need to build a seeker. Yeah. And that'll be cavalry. And that way the city that we found on Orus will immediately have 4 effective population and we'll be able to start building quickly. I don't know where we're going exactly on Orus, but I think we're probably going to found near the Palladian just so that we can put a strategic intensifier on it, because I think we need to. That way we'll have 4 Palladian coming in per turn with the 2 intensifiers, and that should actually be enough to arm a number of units pretty quickly. Alright. So the real danger is coming. These guys from Freyheim are going to be an issue. Oh, the other thing. Right, the other thing. Faction quest. We've been stalled on our faction quest for a long time. Endigir, hard to get to. When the winter ends and we have our dusting come back, I think it might be wise to buy a forgotten hero that we intend to use as a spy, but before we send him out to spy, have him as an army by himself so that he's stealthed, get into Endigir somehow, and communicate with that village. And I think the way we're probably going to have to do that is by coming in through the north or through Blue's territory. We have closed borders with Red, and Red is not willing to budge on that. But you can still walk right through a closed border with a stealthed army, and it's just if the army gets caught, they get sent back out. But they get sent back out at the beginning of the turn after the turn in which they are caught. They don't get sent back out immediately. So if we can get to this border area, we can just sprint in, grab this city, grab the little quest, and then get teleported back to the border. Now you can see the AI does not neglect watchtower building. You can see there are watchtowers constructed here. So we have to be careful. I think the best thing to do, I don't remember if purple's closed their borders to us. We might be able to negotiate open borders. Or we might, the best thing to do might be to go around this coast, land here somewhere, I don't know exactly where, and then just make the trek over 2 turns and hope he doesn't get eaten. If we do it over 2 turns, even if Blue finds him, we'll be able to retreat and probably still make it. And then after he's done that, we can convert him into a spy. So it's not like we're buying a hero just for the purpose of moving our quests. That's the plan. We'll see. I don't know that it's actually viable. Okay. So we need to... We kind of need to get extractors going because we need these resources. Nine turns is a lot more than I would like, but we really, we have to get this stuff coming in faster. Our rate of mining on these resources is not good enough. Oops. And then the central market probably after that. Approval's in a pretty good place. We desperately need to build more cities. That's what, when our empire's happy, I'm like, we're not doing our job right. Alright, let's grab these big, huge pearl deposits. Oh, I forgot to put the... Yeah, here's that big, scary army. Alright, so this is a Seeker 2. We have enough Adamantium to build a Monk 3. Let's prioritize that, shall we? These guys can go join this army so that they benefit from Zoyos's health boost. Man, we don't have any... Yeah, we have a real dearth of actual units at this point. Actually, this Monk 3 needs to get moved into that army. That's something I gotta do next turn. But this is a problem. Basically, we deal with this or we lose. Our fortifications and our cities are all screwed up from constant siege. And yeah, things are rough. I think if we break that army, we might be able to get Blue to back off. Basically, a lot of the problem we're having here is actually it's not directly a military problem. The problem is he has advanced an entire technological weapons tier during the time we've been fighting him, and we really haven't. We got new weapons tech and new metallurgy tech, but because we haven't had enough resources to upgrade, our army is still looking... Actually, this army looks worse than the armies we were using at the start of the fight. Due to having to use Seekers with no strategics to fill gaps. We have enough stuff to build some other monks. Yeah, it just takes so long to build everywhere. We're a little industry light. Tychus needs to finish its build out. It's part of the problem. We don't have a... Alright, anyway. Let's focus here. What are we doing in the 2 turns between then and now? We can transfer one of these Seekers to a garrison. Why are the other monks still in light form? Also, this doesn't help. The fact that our monks are bugged. Maybe it's just a visual bug. Yeah, they're all showing as light form in this menu, but then they're actually dark form when you look at them. It's probably a visual bug. And the army has the 7 movement that you would expect if everybody's in dark form. Or actually, this army would have 7 movement even if all the units were light form, as long as the hero's dark form. Because he has +1 move for all of his units. Well, alright. So we'll transfer a Seeker into the garrison here. Have this monk join up with that army at the beginning of this coming turn. Keep developing the empire here. And then at the beginning of the next turn, this monk gets to join as well. I'm not happy. I'm not happy about our position here. And these guys are not headed toward Pinkland at all. It's possible Red and Blue have gone to war? Red's not at war with us, right? Wait a second. Wait a second. No, Red, we're cool. Let's have a look at this. No, Red and Blue are not at war. Red and Purple are at war. Red and Pink are no longer at war. Pink is at war with Green, though. What is going on here? This is very strange. Are these guys trying to get to the coast? Or is there some kind of horrible thing on the horizon? Let's see if we can get Red and Blue to fight. Hey, you. I know you don't like me very much, and you have no interest in opening your borders to me. But what if you declared war on Blue? Wouldn't that be fun? How about I will give you... I can't offer them stuff? Yeah, I can't start this negotiation by offering them things, which is weird. Like, I don't want open borders. I don't care about their borders. But the only negotiation we seem to be able to make is open borders. Man, I need better diplomacy tech, man. If I could get Red and Blue to fight, it would help for a while. It would help during the period in which Red and Blue are still fighting. It would become really bad after the fighting had resolved. Oh, I didn't mean to move just the one unit up. Honestly, just getting the garrison. I think the Archivist is not really in a position to contribute to this fight. He's going to join, but these dredges are not... They're just not useful. Alright, well, things are going to get very, very dangerous for a couple of minutes here. If we break this army, like I said, first of all, Blue might take that as a signal to back off. And secondly, it would probably give us enough time, now that we have one strategic intensifier up, another one in the works, it would probably give us enough time to get a modern army that can actually fight his guys. Even if Blue didn't back off, I think we would have hope of just winning the war. I think we're going to move this guy into the garrison in Tykest, just to try to accelerate the process of getting this monk into that army as quickly as possible. Yeah, just wait there, I guess. Okay. So to try to complete this motion before Blue gets... Actually, we probably don't want this guy to stand in the city, do we? We don't want him to be trapped by a siege, which is definitely going to occur. Alright, join up. There we go. That was weird. He walked right up to the city gate and then walked back. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain. Oh, the original Garth is not... The original district is not counted against your population, right? We do have exactly enough population to finish building the triangle here. Alright, well, let's do that. Because we want this city at maximum effectiveness, like, pretty quickly. 3 turns off of Reaping Station, which will allow us to start harvesting the Moonleaf. Once we have Moonleaf boosters rolling fairly frequently, we'll be able to probably catch up to the blue guys on science, at least. Red and Purple will be a little bit more of a trick because they have things that accelerate their science so much. And we should actually be making progress on this now. Yeah, good, good, good. 4 more turns. I think that by the time our settler is in position, that should be settled. So that's good. Not everything is terrible, you know? Some things are working out in our favor. Sort of. Pretty much. Some things are pretty much working out in our favor. I think we're going to cut through the little bit of land here. These guys need to get killed. But I just don't have the time to send an army over there. So the question is, I don't think I do want to like run over here and challenge this guy. I think I want to allow him to leave if he wants to leave. And I think we need to make a new unit design. Palladian Monk. Because we have enough Palladian to build one of these. We may need to go back and make a glass steel monk design too, just in case. So let's make a Palladian monk. We will slowly replace units in this army with modern, actual units. So why did red come down here and back out? And did it have anything to do with blue suddenly backing out? Something strange is going on here. The relationship to each other didn't change. Also, red hasn't met green? Is that right? They share a huge border. But I guess they didn't always, right? The land that red has that borders green was stolen from pink. So they actually haven't bordered that for that long. I know it's been a lot of episodes since the Red-Pink War started, but it hasn't actually been that many turns. Well, we have to assume they're coming back, which is why it's important to keep working on troops. As soon as Tychest is done with the strategic intensifier, we're going to also... Oh, he's decided he wants to go for the capital instead. Well, that would be worse for us to lose. That's certainly the case. I briefly lost the ability to speak there. Alright, so through Atayu up into Orus. Orus should be just about pacified when we get there. I'm not going to bring this Seeker home. There's no reason to. He would not be able to contribute meaningfully even if we retrofitted him. I'm going to send him through these, back up, and try to get rid of these guys. He won't be able to beat 2 Kankators by himself. We'll upgrade him to Seeker 2, and we'll try to just get him to fight them near enough the city that the city garrison gets to help. And that will be sufficient to take them down, because two Kankators is not a meaningful force. Alright. Well, let's be not in the city, but near the city. And not up front. I want to make it hard for him to run in and attack the army directly. I don't suppose you'd be willing to talk truce? No? How about terms? Anything? Nothing looks good? Yeah, okay. I kind of figured. Alright. So we're going to have another modern monk completed. Should I shift? I'm going to shift one of these other monks into the city garrison to facilitate the quick movement of that monk into the real army. 221 points of fortification is nothing to sneeze at. That would totally absorb like 2 hits. Yeah, alright, we don't have anything else to do here, so let's try to move that Palladian monk out of the city into the army as quickly as possible. Oh, maybe that's what he was waiting for. No, not though. Do you see it? I selected this, and then as I went to click new army, it reselected all of the units. Annoying. Alright, that thing with the rivers, that doesn't really affect us. So that would be a fine effect. I guess we, just negotiate this way now. Alright, here we go. This is where we figure out whether we lose the game right now or not. I mean, there's no way he conquers the city this turn, even if his attack is successful. There's just too many units. It would take him a couple turns of fighting to beat us. Alright, this is the right order of reinforcements. I'm just making sure. I'm not trying not to do anything stupid. Alright. So everything in this army has 1,000,000 health. We have a lot of units that don't meaningfully contribute to combat. Fortunately, he doesn't have any proliferators. The AI doesn't seem to like proliferators. They are by far the best units in the Necrophage army, in my opinion, but the AI never uses them. Alright, so the Necro drones will fly over his melee troops, which first of all will slow down the Rumblers, and secondly will put the Necro drones, which are the most dangerous units, in direct contact with our army immediately. Where are the reinforcement flags here? They're this square and that, or this hex and that hex. Alright, I think that this unit placement is fine. Who's first? Odds are pretty good that this guy just flies to here, right? But it's possible that he flies to here in hopes of getting onto one of the reinforcement flags. I'm gonna guess that in the back we want to deal with that guy. Trying to make sure that my ranged units move off of the reinforcement flags quickly. And I mean, like, the Rumblers are going to kick our asses. There's not a lot we can do about it. Just try to hit them so that they're distracted. This is going to be tough. Okay. I guessed correctly. He flew to the near space, which means this one's going to be more exposed on the side, which is why I targeted all those units on it. Alright, his hero's going to hit pretty hard. The Rumblers are going to hit pretty hard. But the units in the city are not very good, with the exception of that one monk. But the units coming in through the reinforcement flags should be pretty powerful. No, don't move on to a reinforcement flag. That's annoying. There was no good reason for him to do that. Yeah, look at that circular attack dealing no damage. Yeah, that needs to not happen anymore. Okay, and that's an annoying stun, but it's an annoying stun on a unit that doesn't matter. So that's cool. Oh, except that that means that unit can't attack him to prevent him from doing his beam attack over and over. That's why that went that way. Yeah, this is rough. Oh, this is the Palladian monk that we have doing this. He should be focused on other endeavors. Shoot, I can't really afford to move him, though. We need him to hold that guy down. Alright. We just have to try to keep our units free of the reinforcement flags. The Necrodrones are distracted by the Delvers, which is nice. Maybe they're just identifying that they can kill this unit quickly. And that's all it takes for them. I'll tell you what, this would be going a lot more smoothly if we were still in dark form. Maybe it would be worth buying shape-shifting and spending pearls just to be in dark form for as much of this battle as possible. Not this battle, but this extended siege. Because obviously this isn't going to wrap up this turn. Lots of units are going to die, but alright, you need to move over to here. Stop getting hit by that. Yeah. Alright, the Rumblers are pretty good units for attacking an enemy that is in a city. For this reason, because you end up pushing them against the edge of the battlefield, and then you get to line attack their units as they come in. Plus, the assimilation bonus for those guys is a reduction in the industry cost of buildings, because they help you build stuff with their incredible physical brawn. It's a pretty good. It was a pretty good assimilate. Yeah, that Palladian monk is doing work. The couple of guys we have that are on reasonable gear are doing just fine against these guys. If we could have a whole army that was Palladian and Adamantium, we'd be doing fine. Oh my god, the stuns. What are the odds on your stun? 40%, man. Well, we're definitely seeing them get pretty good rolls on that. The hero will go down this turn. And honestly, our militia made an okay accounting of themselves. Obviously they died, and there was no doubt that they would. But they did quite a bit of damage on their way out. Yeah, the monks, the Palladian and Adamantian equipped monks are actually kicking ass. Alright, come on, let me get this guy down. 26? What are you doing 26 damage for? That's just embarrassing. That is an embarrassingly small amount of damage. Oh, right, that monk didn't attack because he got stunned. I was like, what the heck happened there? It's worth noting that their stun can only fire when they attack, not when they get attacked. Pretty much all things that modify your attack work that way. Oh, don't move to this square. Attack it. Let's try to get the drone down. Oh, wow. That is the hero of the city. So that's kind of a bummer. It would have been nice if he had survived, you know, so that our city would continue to have a governor. Alright. We should actually get attacks off on the Rumblers this turn, so that we don't have to endure their attacks. Their counterattack's not that dangerous, and they have, like, 0 initiative. It's just a matter of getting units into position to stop them from launching their attack. So actually, I think this was, this went a lot better than I thought it was going to. I thought we were going to lose a lot more units and have a lot more of their units left on the table at the end. Ooh, that didn't go very well. But actually, what did we lose? I know we lost 1 militia, 2 militia? No, we have 1 militia. We had 2 militia alive. We lost 1 militia and, like, the governor of the city died in the battle, which is a shame. This is what I like to see. Look at all the little arrows. Yeah, I may have overestimated their forces. I have a habit, and I'm sure if you're this deep in the series, you've probably heard me do it a number of times. I have a real habit of underestimating my chances of completing things. You know, it's not for effect. It's not to gather pity. I just legitimately feel like I'm gonna fail at stuff all the time. So, yeah, I may have done that here. I may have overestimated their odds. This was a good thing. Building the cities in this tight cluster so that they can defend each other is really valuable. Oh no, he lives! He stays alive at 6 health. That's great. Because if he had died, then we would have had to rehire him with dust. Well, I mean, we'd have to either wait 20 turns for him to heal or rehire him with dust. And then we wouldn't actually be able to reapply him as a governor until the city was out of its siege. So we lost 1 monk, 1 old monk, and 1 dredge, and 2 militia. And they lost their army, basically. Yeah, that went really well. That like a lot better than I thought it was going to. Mr. Redpoint, I guess this isn't that important because we're not getting close to that part of the faction quest very quickly. So let's just pick up the yield boosters. And then Nachamsesa also leveled. Just keep walking up the support tree with him. And I think that it behooves us to finish this. Necrophages have significant health regen. Although I guess the units that are still alive are not necrophages. Yeah. Yeah, that's an acceptable order. So we have a really wounded monk that we're going to order to stay back. I don't want him contributing in a way that kills him. You stay put. Well, actually, we got this situation again where I pulled him out of the middle, and so because he doesn't have all the bonus morale, he slides down the initiative order. And then our Palladian monk is like the first one in the door. This guy is a hero. He did so much damage. I don't know if you were watching him specifically during that battle. He did so much damage. Yeah, this guy has less health. Let's focus on that guy. I'm not too worried about their hero. And somebody, you have 1, 2, 3. You're actually not going to get there in time. We have to do this. And everybody else focus on that guy. Alright. Once again, I don't want the Rumblers having a choice, ever. You get to fight who I say you get to fight. Alright, and their hero chose not to do anything meaningful. Ooh, that didn't work. Yeah. Just want to make sure my hero is shooting their hero. And then everybody else bum rush the dude. Try not to get killed, please. 170, and we dealt 0 twice in a row. Also, how does that guy have 374 attack right now? Alright, well, I feel like the game gave us the screw a little bit there. The pair of zeros was an eloquent middle finger. Alright, so you two... Oh. Yeah, they just battled. So those two monks plus the... where's... Oh, we're short. Next turn we'll have enough Palladian and Adamantium to start work on more monks. This Seeker will get finished someday, I'm sure. This monk's gonna get pushed back too. Okay, but on the whole, successful. Successful enough that I don't know that we need a truce anymore. We can just beat him if he shows up again. I had to say, that's a weight off my mind. I was really concerned. I thought we were maybe viewing the last days of our empire there. Alright, let's take these two, move them into this army, and then we need a Palladian monk and a monk 3. And we need them, like, up here in this order. Do we have monks? We don't have monks in the city garrisons right now, which means that I have, I've broken the progress on that quest. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna put a monk back in the garrisons. I don't think I want to bother spending dust to finish to, like, rush a monk either. Alright, we're just gonna... Those guys aren't gonna be pacified right away when we land. That's all. I think it's more important that we continue the development of our military than that we try to get these guys pacified as soon as possible. Berdeki are better units than a lot of the minor factions that we've had to fight, but it's worth noting that militia have Cavalry Slayer. So the Berdeki will not be a threat to our forces, or to our city. They could siege the city and be really annoying, though. We'll have to deal with them. Yeah, the AI literally cannot do this because the AI does not complete quests. So we're guaranteed to get this if we complete 25 quests. I don't know how likely that is, honestly. Okay, so now we have some time to think technologically. We've done all the things that we really needed. What is our next move? It would be cool to have advanced diplomacy tech. It would be nice to be able to forge some kind of friendship with one of the AIs so that we don't have to worry about everybody at our throats. And plus, once you have the ability to negotiate with the AIs, you can do things like trade techs, which can be very valuable on this difficulty. We also want access to the other half of the marketplace. We also want improved food output. We also want this crazy huge amount of dust. You know, given how much dust our cities are outputting now, this would be, plus 30% would be pretty significant. Maybe we should do this. Diplomacy tech would be really nice, though. Let's get diplomacy tech. We're going to try to negotiate our way out of this. Again, this is not for dealing with blue. There can be no diplomacy with a necrophage. But if we could get red or purple, or even green, to play nice, we might be able to use them to help us climb into the game, back into the game technologically. If we can get blue to calm down, it also might be very much to our benefit to kill pink. If that's possible. I don't know what pink's development looks like. With them on only 2 regions, it's probably not that great. No, you're staying put. You're staying put. I guess, actually, this guy's not really contributing that much over here. We could assign him to these Seekers and mop up the neutrals. Well, let's not do that until that Seeker's actually in a position to be useful. Alright, Tychest has finished that. So, now that we have these coming in at a slightly better rate, the glass steel's still not great. We might actually be able to start equipping those free counter trinkets. And I don't know... I think that free counter interacts positively with the light form shifting rage ability. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, let's just it's possible you've forgotten or something. Let's just talk about it real quick. In light form, shifting rage boosts defense and damage on counterattacks, and it stacks up. If you have free counter, I'm pretty sure it does allow you to just gain multiple stacks per turn. The stacks reset every 3rd consecutive counterattack. And when they have stacks of shifting rage up, they counterattack in a cone, like out past the enemy that's attacking them. It's really hard to position yourself to use that, since the fact that you're counterattacking necessarily means that you didn't get to move. But if you have free counter, we could counterattack and still get to control our motion, provided that the unit doesn't get attacked twice before it moves. So this would actually be really valuable. We have to try to get that going. I'm not going to put it on the designs now. Let's build a lot of monks. But it might be worth carefully retrofitting the units that are in the armies. Okay. Yeah, we're good for now then. Like I said, I think blue's pretty much out of gas. That big army was probably represented a pretty significant outlay of resources, and he's been just like trickling troops into us for a long while. Because I think he expended a lot of his initial built-up force. So we should provided we stay focused, should be able to deal with him. Unfortunately, stay focused means don't build a lot of infrastructure tech, which is obviously not awesome. I like infrastructure tech. Alright, I think heroes are... Okay, so next turn, we will be able to hire a hero for the island. Of course, we're very close to needing another governor. In fact, we're about to need another governor. I think we want to get this city going right now. I don't want to do any tricksy stuff with waiting until the Empire plan or anything. Oh, hey. Well, that's helpful. Our Empire plan... Ooh, this is going to be too expensive to do if we build a city. But our income is pretty good. Our influence has gotten pretty good because building out Garths just, like, turbocharges your influence. Let's have a look. So there's no anomalies on the island. Sorry, there's one anomaly on the island. I mean, it would seem that the sensible thing to do is just to build between the anomaly and the thing we have to build a strategic intensifier on. Oh, no, there is another anomaly. That was weird. I looked right past the symbols. There's actually several. Three. Three's not really several. So, actually, this is a way better location for a city over by the massive tree. This mutant marsh is not that great for a growth of a city. I dislike the fact that you can't click on colonization while you're in the water. So this is 11.5, and anywhere over here is going to be like 13.7. Yeah. This is a better location for the growth of the city, but I think we have to do it here because we need that strategic intensifier too badly. You know, the difference between 13.7 and 11.5 isn't really that great. And this location does have more dust, at least. Okay. So what is our approval rating? Wow, still 94 after doing that. Kind of crazy. Alright, well we should take Barians then. Like, very shortly afterward. Ooh, after these guys finish their strategic intensifier, I may just have them build a settler. Let's get the island nations, and then the island nations can become the the scientific and economic centers of our empire, and this can just be the war machine. Because I think that's what it's going to have to be. What did these guys want? Too many chiefs. Oh, they wanted... I didn't even see what they wanted. They wanted me to give them 100 dust. Let's go do that. Let's go talk to them. Like I said, Nachampasesa might be... Nachampasesa, right? Yeah. Might be heading over there to oversee that operation. He's not doing that much over here now. Alright, so they have another army coming. High-tech rumblers. It is what it is. You know, I'm not that worried about it. I like this scout. We need this watchtower functioning. How many turns would it take for me to build a watchtower here? Because... What? Why can't I build it here? Do I have to currently have vision of the... Oh, because that's in Tychest is why. Duh. Watchtower. How many turns? That's unfortunate, because Tychest is a lot less good at building things. Yeah, it would be 4 turns of construction or 350 dust. Honestly... Yeah. Honestly, it's more important than that. Okay, so... In a couple of turns, we'll have monks in the garrisons again. Yeah, I think actually things are starting to go pretty well. Oh, right, new city. New city needs to build. Man. Yeah, let's rush the mill foundry at least. Unfortunately, founding that city before pacifying those guys means that they don't give us enough spices to use as a booster. I still think it was right to found it because it's going to take a couple of turns. Oh, hello. Oh, they're doing this thing again. Trying to split us up. Alright, it's more important to hire a governor for the other cities. So Afalo Tegret is a candidate for that spy maneuver I was talking about. Dust Boost 1, Dust Boost 1. These are pretty bad heroes. If I wait a turn, I'll have access to some other stuff that's not particularly compelling. Dust Efficiency 3 Food Boost 1 is that's not awful. Dust Boost 3, that's a little bit more like it. Oh, there's a Strikes Far. Well, obviously we wait for the Strikes Far, because Food Boost 3, Industry Boost 2 is awesome. Food Boost 2, Industry Boost 3, also pretty good. Sadly, we haven't seen that guy pop up yet this game. Alright, well, now Champasessa needs to stay put for a moment because we may actually need him. Actually, I don't have to divert a force to deal with this. Right? Actually, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Oh, Palladium Monk, finished. I really do wish we had a flying hero, because this army's movement is severely limited by Zoyos. They could just flit over here in a single turn, eat this guy, and then come back next turn if my hero is flying. There is a flying hero. He's not available on the marketplace right now. But there is one flying hero. So I guess things are going okay. Yeah, this army's mobility is all screwed up because of this guy. Yeah? Start the fight, buddy. Annoying. I didn't heal him because I was like, man, we need the dust for the heroes. Speaking of which, let's just do this real quick before I forget. Okay, let's handle this fight. So we have a couple of basically useless Seekers. Actually, they're not useless. They have an important role in the battle to come, which is distracting the enemy, so that Duke Unwin Weybridge doesn't get killed. Except he has higher initiative than they do. That's annoying. Well, if I stand next to them, though, they'll get a bunch of morale. Yeah, from standing in the city and then from being adjacent to each other, they'll have a bunch of morale and they'll go first. No, they won't. Their initiative is 28. Oh, well, those guys are militia. They don't have the thing. Huh. He also doesn't have the right amount of morale, considering that he's in a city space surrounded by friendlies. Oh, maybe you don't get... It's possible that you don't get morale for being in a sieged city space, actually. Okay, so... I guess... this guy will be the focus. Monks, try to get him. Move to here and get him. And then we want this militia to move to here and attack that guy. We want this militia. We want this Seeker to move to here and attack that guy. And that way, everybody's getting attacked. Oh, the monk is before the militia, so we actually want one of the Seekers to attack the Rumbler. This Rumbler. So let's do this, so this guy's counterattack is spent. And then these guys can attack him. Yeah. And Weybridge needs to back off so he doesn't get killed. I'm trying to do this in such a way that only the units that aren't terribly important to us take counterattack damage. Alright, let's make with the violence now. Weybridge, just... yeah, go to here and stay put. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to preserve the monks as best I can. It would be easier if we were dealing damage. You guys, can you please with the zeros? I don't think I have any control over the order in which units from a single army come through the reinforcement flags, but I wish I did. But this is still the right plan. We're just not dealing any damage, which is ridiculous. There we go. Our morale should be sufficient to get our attack actually pretty high, so the fact that they have good defenses should not be preventing us from dealing damage. And our morale is starting to get high enough on the monks that they're overtaking everybody else's initiative and getting hit. But actually, that's totally fine because they still have their fortification on while the other units have lost it. So we're sort of just trading hit points that aren't really ours to start with. Oof, that Seeker finally got hit for a real amount of damage. Alright, could you please kill him? Can we at least kill one of them before the battle ends? Okay, 197, there we go. Army is starting to show off that it's like wearing modernized gear and stuff. Okay, we might actually kill two of them even. Yeah, there goes that Seeker, unfortunately. Yes, this is, I feel like, pretty desperate from the Necrophages. They're feeding us units. And they're feeding us a lot of XP, too, which I appreciate. Oh, that needs to turn off. Oh, the die ran out. Okay, Weybridge is getting levels. Bright Slash is getting levels. Here we go. Damage boost for our army. We need to assign Strikes Far. The question now is, do I assign him to the new city? Actually, I think I'm going to. New guy, new city. Okay. This should catapult Orus past the Talu pretty quickly. And I am, in fact, going to pop out a settler. We also need Moonleaf extractors, which are a significant expense. I don't want to build an extractor here. I want to build a Garth. And then, what do you call it? Intensifier, obviously. So, this is annoying, though, that we're going to have to deal with these guys separately. Okay. I was just curious. We had a monk in a garrison briefly because the monk got finished, and then the turn started, and apparently that does count. So, we should actually get that completed next turn, because this monk will be finished, and then it'll check and see that we have all of the classes. So that'll help that city out again. Orus should actually be pretty good. Should be a pretty good city. It has a lot better land than the other island. Oh, but we're actually at an hour here. Well, let's try to resolve the sieges before we end the video. Alright, so I have 198 dust. That's enough to negotiate with Barians, at least. We'll go see what they want. And you just get closer. Let's make sure you're in range to participate in this battle. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to have these guys move up. Yep, cool. Alright, they backed off. We're being pillaged somewhere. Oh, it's probably on the new island, yeah. As soon as the villages convert, the armies are like, you traitors! Alright, so Varys... We don't quite have the resources to make good monks. Let's take the opportunity to bang this out real quick. Can we not? No, we can attack him. There we go. That's weird. They didn't want to do it on my first click. We probably don't have to be there in person for that one. Yep, and the siege broken. These guys retreat into the wilderness like very embarrassed apes. That's a real thing, right? Probably. Okay, so I may have to... Let's do this. Let's land and see what these guys want. Just take a hero to the other village. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring Nachapsis over here. We'll get this handled, then we'll get this handled. Then we'll finally kill this one roaming Eyeless One's army. And honestly, you know what else I want to pick up is the extra minor faction slot, because I do want to get the Delvers back. We have quite a significant dust output in this empire, and it would be cool if we could have our Delvers boosting it. And also, you know, this is not really like a, hey, let's win the game kind of concern, but I feel bad with them having gone to such lengths to be useful to us. I feel bad abandoning them. Is that silly? It's like a little silly. Alright. Yeah, this city is actually coming along quickly. Nice. That's still really like a lot of turns, but we'll get there. Alright, well that's going to be it for this episode. Things are... I was going to say things have turned around. They haven't really. It's just that I thought they were a lot worse than they were. My opinion on things has turned around. We are totally still in this game. We can still fight blue. As our army continues to modernize, I think we can probably take Freyheim back. This is it. I said it before. I'm saying it again. This is it. We're winning this one. There is not going to be another game in this series because we're going to win. Come back next time and see it, and we'll see you then.